Ghost Cult Magazine welcomes back Sharon from Within Temptation. How are you doing, Sharon?
I'm fine, thank you. I was fine until somebody thought it was very funny to put the garden hose on me and I had to rechange myself. That's why I'm a bit late today. I killed him,
What?
never, nobody saw him ever again, so that problem is solved.
Oh, that's fine.
That's why my hair is wet.
Oh, I couldn't even tell. Great. Obviously, yeah, great to see you. Great to see you in good spirits. It's a very weird time in the world. Before, I'm very excited to talk about the new song and everything going on with the band. But of course, I hope that you're well. I hope your family is well. I hope everybody in the band and their families are well. This is just an insane, unpredictable time in the world right
Yeah,
now.
totally. Yeah, totally. I totally agree with you. Um, we've had here, I don't know how is it in Brooklyn? Is it complete lockdown still or?
No, people are starting to. So some people have never locked down at all, but for the most part, we're still pretty shut down. I know that they want to reopen things. I'm sure New York City is going to be one of the last places to reopen. We
Yeah,
have
yeah, it's
a
been
lot of
really heavy
a
on
lot
you
of
guys.
cases.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
it's been hard. What
Well,
about where you guys are?
well, we had this. This is really nice. This is a marketing kind of thing, of course, that you can relate to probably. In the Netherlands, they called it an intelligent lockdown that we had. It was very intelligent, of course. So everybody felt like, okay, we're doing this better than the rest of them. Completely really ridiculous, but it worked. It worked because it appealed to people, and the thing was that we were only allowed. It was a complete lockdown still. But the thing was that they appealed to our own responsibility to when to go outside. So only when you're not sick, you are allowed to go outside. Maximum 2 people. Mostly only for groceries or a walk in the park or some little bit of sports, but on your own, or someone with a family is okay. So we weren't heavily locked down like in Italy or Spain, where you needed official papers to be on the street, otherwise you would get a fine. The only thing that the government did with police was like if people would hang out together, they would give you a fine, a really serious fine, each person, like 400 euros, which is a lot. And if you're an adult and if you're a minor, it's like 95. Yeah, euros, which is still a lot of money for someone who's not working, of course. So but that was the only thing that happened actually here. So we were they appealed to our sense, like our own responsibility, and that worked for us in a way. So but they sold it in a way like intelligent lockdown, but that was, yeah, we found it laughable, of course, but on the other hand, it did work.
That sounds extremely Dutch, and very, very smart to appeal to, sort of the higher functions there. I talked to a few other Dutch artists recently who also were kind of critical, that it was a little too loose and not serious enough. And, us here in the States, we can deny the seriousness of things and try to reopen. And, slowly, I know places that aren't hotspots or places that are a little more rural are opening up sooner, but it's just hard to sit back and look at it when a lot of people have died or a lot of people are sick, or even all the people who've recovered. I mean, it's still very
Yeah,
scary when you say a lot of people were sick and recovered. So that's good, but it's also
well,
unsettling. And you know
even though the people that did recover, they have a lot of symptoms that are not okay still. They have a long recovery time, and also,
right.
so the impact is huge. So when you do get sick, it's not a small thing. And even when you recover, it's still a big thing. It's like, yeah, totally.
Right. Well, in the meantime, I'm glad that you're well and everyone is well with the band, and hopefully you don't know anyone who is, seriously ill or lost to us, because we are seeing a lot of people, a lot of elderly, a lot of people with pre-existing conditions just stricken by this. We've had with New York is, this is every day we hear sirens. I'm sure there'll be a siren coming by between now and the end of this interview, because that's just my life. But it's fine. I'm not complaining. I want to get through this. I do believe we're going to get through this. Music has been a huge help to me.
Yeah.
I don't know what you've been doing to keep busy. Beside, I know you said you've been teaching school to your children, which is a
Yeah,
handful
yeah, yeah,
probably.
with Zoom. Well, the thing that I've been doing is like, well, the thing that would help me a lot was to keep my routine, like, start with a certain kind of, the things that I normally do, open the mail, check everything that I needed to do for that day, get everybody back to work, at home, my kids, I mean, and that everything got done, what needed to be done before we had our normal daily routine of relaxing and stuff. So, and keeping sports up, I'm blessed with a garden, which is, I think, in Brooklyn maybe a little more difficult. I don't know how you are doing, but I'm outside of the city, so I have a nice garden. And although there was a lockdown, I was able to go outside and do sports in my garden, so it was that's really nice. And so I can imagine being in an apartment with only windows, and I can't even imagine how that is for such a long time. So I really feel for everyone who is in an apartment at this moment. But yeah, keeping busy is really important. Music is a huge thing for me. So what I did was, like, I started, maybe what helped me also is like discover new music. And I discovered new music because I wanted to work out to get those Corona kilos away from me. Fighting them off. And I was like, I'm going to do a workout, every day or once a few times a week. And but I need a really good workout playlist. And I started looking for songs which had a high intensity beats, and I wanted to have metal and rock, especially songs that I like, of course. So I made my own playlist, and I started sharing that, actually, and I called it on the music platforms. So I started calling it very appropriate, the Corona quarantine sweat it out workout. And it worked for me, and a lot of people started listening to it, and I really liked it. And I started discovering new music as well. So bands that I never heard of, I thought, oh yeah, I know the name, but I've never explored what kind of beautiful music they're making. So this is also a good time of exploring and doing new things that I never did before, because I did make playlists in the past, but not with as much passion as I did now.
Gotcha. What do you use, Spotify or something else?
Yeah, Spotify and Apple Music and Deezer, yeah, several.
Deezer is very solid. They do a nice job. Yeah, it's whatever it takes to kind of keep yourself occupied and
Yeah,
busy. I know people are doing all manner of things. It's nice that you have a garden. Maybe you can do some gardening, or sit
yeah,
out,
those kind.
see some
Yeah,
sunshine. See a little sun at this time of the year is nice. It feels weird. We're already moving into summer soon, and it's just so strange for us. I work from home, so I'm used to being in my home office that you see behind me here, and
yeah, yeah.
for work and for Ghost Cope. But it's definitely bizarre. It's a bizarre. This whole year seems like really it was off already before this, and then it was like,
Yeah,
wow, this is,
yeah.
I don't know
Going
why.
way
It's just
stranger with, yeah. It's almost like a movie that nobody wants to be in, right?
right.
No.
I'm waiting for Sharknado or something to happen next. Like, I don't know what's coming next, but
Dinosaurs.
and then you have music to promote, which this is weird because normally you would be planning for tour or on tour or doing
Festivals
press
already. Yeah.
traditionally, and you put a new song out and you can't bring it to people in person. So that's odd, but I feel like you and the band have done a really nice job staying connected to the fans lately. Whether it's the sharing the Black Symphony performance, which I think was a nice treat for
You
everybody.
saw that?
Um, yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh,
We
cool.
watched. That was great, and the new single is out, "Entertain You," which is fantastic. So, um, it's interesting that you guys had just put "Resist" out. It seemed like just a year ago, a little over a year
It
ago, and
is a
now
year
you have
ago, February.
new music. Yeah, and now you have new music already. So, were you guys already planning like another release, or did you just
Yeah,
have a
we were.
song?
Well, the thing is that we weren't supposed to be on tour already, after our previous tour for Resist. And now we have this Worlds Collide tour that we were supposed to do with Evanescence.
Right.
And it's more or less the same country. So we felt like, okay, if, everybody's coming again and we have a very big overlap in the same kind of fans, I think, then we need to bring something new to the table. So we started writing after the previous tour. in November, and we started recording in January, February. We're like, yeah, we have something nice to, nobody's going to expect that, because I always say, yeah, soon there's going to be something new. And everybody's, yeah, Sharon, soon is going to be like a year from now. But it's not, we're actually quite seriously trying to be really quick with this. And we felt like, okay, we're going to bring something new to the festivals and to the tour that we're going to do. And it's going to be a surprise for everyone. And then, of course, it all blew up in our face. Like everything got postponed, of course. And we're like, okay, what are we going to do now, And we've been, not only we had just announced it, also like we're going to bring some new music. And at the same time, we felt, okay, normally you would combine it with a tour, which makes more sense. But on the other hand, we felt like, okay, also us as a band, we have been working towards this release, and we were so excited about it because we had never done this so quickly after really, making a song and releasing it that quickly after. And it felt so good in the moment. So we felt like, just forget all the traditional ways. We're just going to go ahead and, do it for us, for ourselves, but also for them, for everyone, everybody needs something now, and something new to be looking forward to. So yeah, this just felt a good moment to do it.
Awesome. It is a great track. I didn't want to read too much into it, the lyrics, but I wanted to ask you about the story of the song, because it does sound, it's got a very pointed view of the song. Sounds very reactionary, which I like. It's like my kind of thing is to be, I like songs that agitate me a little bit as well as to enjoy. So I wanted to ask about the entertain you. Is a sarcastic entertain you, I think,
Yeah,
or cynical
totally.
entertain you. So I wanted to ask a little bit about the story of the song too.
Well, the thing is that I'm just amazed about how we have changed, how we, there's always been a problem in society with how we treat each other. Sometimes the disrespect that we have for people that we don't even know or understand, and we try so little to get closer to understanding sometimes, especially when you've been told that certain people are bad from a religion point of view. Like, sometimes, like I heard friends saying, yeah, I learned that in my religion it's bad to be gay, and I've always told that that it's bad. And I've got friends who are gay, and they had a lot of problems breaking away from their religion and wanted to be religious and couldn't be religious because of the fact they felt they were denied of being who they are. But it goes further than that. Just, it's not only about the outcasts in the world who are being dissed, but also like how our government sometimes are talking to reporters. Things are changing very much, how we are socially talking towards each other, the respect that we have or the disrespect. And and I see it in different countries. I'm not only talking about your country, I'm talking about in my own country, everybody, it's like they're all looking at each other at presidents of big countries, like, okay, if he can do it, we can try it as well, and it will get us votes in a certain way. And I'm just amazed about how many people fall for that, and I'm just it really gets me pumped up, because I think people who are in charge, who are in government, if it's a president or police, they are the people that we should be able to be trusting, and especially in a time like this. So that's what this song is about. It's that certain people you can't trust anymore. Even if it's religion, you're putting a certain trust in your community, in the people around you. And if you're not being respected for who you are, then, and it goes from a big level to a small level. It gets me agitated. And that's what this song is about, the disrespect that we have for certain people and for each other. And I think people are so much wiser and smarter than to go along with this kind of behavior.
Well done, well done. More of that, please. And again, it was very similar to a lot of the Resist material. Also had that same kind of, I think, emotional, in some spots, very emotional and angry point of view, which I like rational, but like, hey, pay attention, everybody, because we're messing up. But I remember when we spoke last spring in New York City, you had been going on about you know, it was kind of a difficult process for you to make Resist, and then you guys as a band came out on the other side very strong. Has that affected you guys now working on a new song in the studio, or the writing? Was it a lot easier now that you had that growth period?
Yeah, we're still in the same flow as Resist. We feel like there's so much to talk about to for ourselves. You know, for me, music is dealing with life, and that goes for the rest of the band as well. And it's about dealing about subjects like I just told you, that that just gives me a way to deal with things that I'm angry about, or that I get a certain melancholy about, or any kind of emotion. And I must say that we've just found a new doorway to ventilate our emotions, and there's so much to talk about in this world at this point. And so we have a lot of inspiration, and it just comes by itself, where it was like after Hydra a big fight to get back to not knowing what to write about, and then all of a sudden a lot of things changed in the world, and we felt like, okay, there's so much to write about, and it just opened a lot of doors for us.
Of course. And when you work as hard as your band does and you do, you need time to live in between projects. And to live as an artist, you need time. So you can then
Yeah,
work on, have something else to talk about. So you had
yeah, so
a lot go on in just a few short years with your personal life and a solo record and then Resist. So I'm glad to see you guys are still striking while the iron is hot. And I'm very excited to hear if there's more new music, or I know you guys were already talking about beginning to, you know, sort of start working on a future release now that we have this who knows what time going on in the world.
yeah. Yeah, we're just after this single, that after the of course we're now very busy with interviews and everything, so there's not much time to do anything creative, because this is just another phase of the whole process that you go through when you've released something. So after this we're gonna of course dive into the writing process again. I'm really looking forward to that as well, because I just want to, yeah, the fuel's on. I want to just want to write a lot the coming few months, and we've got a lot of time on our hands now. So why not see what comes?
Of course. And I know you're looking forward to the tour. No one knows what's going to happen. I know I see some things are being canceled for the fall, and I'm not going to ask you to speculate, but I know you were looking forward to this tour. Fans are looking forward to it. Amy spoke very publicly about how huge this is for her. And I thought she wrote some very lovely things. And the band as well. The band accounts said really not like, this is an honor. And, you know, it is like a perfect match, Evanescence and Within Temptation. So I'm hoping we get to have this tour, or you know, figure out a time when we can have it, because it's just weird right now when no one knows
Yeah,
what's going to happen.
I can't imagine so many people at this point together, because yeah, there needs to be a way to protect everyone before we can do that again. So, and as long there is nothing, we can't do anything. So it's gonna take time. And yeah, everybody's looking forward to, you know, oh my God, I missed so much playing live. And I was, yeah, everybody, you know, you want to be there together. You want to feel that
Yeah.
adrenaline, and you want to feel the interaction with everyone. And yeah, can't wait, of course. And but yeah, to keep everyone safe, it's not possible, of course. And we just have to wait. And until that time, I'm just gonna get all that energy that I wanted to throw out on the stage with everyone. I'm gonna pour it in new songs for the time being.
Right on. That's good. I appreciate that. Yeah, shows are a huge part of my social life, because I'm usually at shows interviewing bands
Yeah.
and covering bands and photographing bands, and I don't know what to do now. I'm just doing interviews on Zoom and making the best of it. But I know, for especially in Europe, Within Temptation is such a huge band. Although I would love to see the band and you perform in a small, intimate venue. And I'm fine with seated shows, actually, as I'm getting older. But I could stand to sit sometimes at a show. But I do wonder about at your level, a big band, like how does that affect? Can an arena band or a stadium type of band do a more intimate theater show at this stage? We've been discussing that here. Like, what does a small show look like for a huge band, and is it feasible for venues? Or, you know, financially it's tough, because you guys put on a huge production and the whole crew, and you know,
Yeah.
it's not a show you can do in 100-person venue.
Well, you know what I think? It's they're just discussing here now in the Netherlands, if you're when you're outside, apparently the virus doesn't go quickly to other people. It goes quickly to others when it's in a closed environment like venues, closed venues. So I think summer festivals might be an option for next year. And I think depending on how you're going to divide the audience, of course, in a certain way, because you need to keep a little bit more distance than normal, of course, and maybe the 1.5 meter, I don't know. But yeah, I'm hoping that they will figure out if it's possible to do something. And you're you're not allowed in the Netherlands to do anything above 100 people with all the measures, keeping the distances in between. But that's indoors actually. So I'm wondering if it would be outside, and if it appears to be that people are not being affected when they're outside. Then if they're not too close to each other, then you can do still maybe something. Yeah, and you have to make a different kind of production, of course, because the way we do shows, it's like really based on big venues and everything and big festivals. But you can always downsize, and maybe that is for a certain time the future. I don't know. It's something to think about. It depends a little bit how things will go in the next few months, of course. But yeah, we'll see. I wish I had a crystal ball. I think we all wished we had one.
Indeed, and while I'm very happy to go to wear a mask when the first shows happen, it's going to be hard to, if you have to perform in one, not just to sing, but to breathe and to be comfortable
Yeah.
under the lights. But I'm very happy to go back to shows and socially distance and wear a mask. But I know a couple of people have commented to ask rock or heavy metal fans to not be close to each other and not mosh or not be at the rail in front of the stage,
Yeah,
all
but it's such a different
wait,
thing.
that's our
Yeah.
culture, is to be close to each other. It's
Yeah,
weird.
yeah, like yeah.
For such
Nice sweaty t-shirts too. And
right, for such aggressive music, we're very happy to get very close to each other and
yeah, almost
sweaty. But
hugging.
I know we're gonna miss that. I think the misanthropy of heavy metal and rock is gonna die down a little bit. While we're gonna be so happy to see each other, we're gonna be
Yeah,
randomly hugging people
exactly.
as soon as we can. But yeah, I want to give you back your day. You're wonderful. I always love speaking to you and asking you about stuff. I just have a couple more questions. Have you been working on or given any more thought to another solo release? I know you were really happy with the last one.
Yeah, the thing was that I was in a different state of mind when I was writing my Indigo, and I'm again now more in the state of mind that with Invitation more is. It's like the attack kind of state of mind, like it's more not, that sounds really strange maybe to say, but it's more like it's a different state of mind. My Indigo is more inwards, and this is more extrovert. It's more looking into the world, and what I wanted to do with my Indigo, needed to do at the time, was more looking inwards to my own soul and what was happening over there and the problems I was having with myself. And so at this moment I feel pretty good. I'm okay actually, and but now I feel more like dealing with stuff around me that I need to deal with. So that's more with Invitation, and eventually there will be a new album for my Indigo, at least I hope. And but I need to have time for that, and maybe I have time when I've done more or less the things that I want to do for with Invitation, that I can have some time. Maybe if time goes on and we have more time because of all what's happening now, I might even have time for my Indigo. So who knows? Time will tell again.
Well, we would look forward to that, of course. And then just as a final thing, of course, I'm always conscious of this. Obviously, 2020 is a 20th anniversary for a very important album for the Temptation. And I was just thinking it must be almost 25 years as a band next year. So what a strange way to celebrate at home. But I'm glad you have time at home with the family. But yeah, of course, just a strange time in the world. But any thoughts or reflections that the band has done a lot of things and come a very long way from the very beginning, 25 years almost as a band, and many releases. So I just wanted to get, if you had any thoughts to share about the longevity of the band, and what beside new music, what the future holds maybe.
Well, lately a lot of people have been asking, are you going to do something with its 25 years anniversary? And actually we didn't have anything planned, because we somehow still, after so many years, we're still looking forward. And I know it's been 25 years. It doesn't feel like 25 years. It's been one hell of a ride since then. And but yeah, we still want to look forward. We still want to be in the moment and try to develop ourselves. And I think we're just gonna look back when we see that we have said everything and done everything. That's a time for us to maybe go back and do like a Mother Earth tour or an Enter tour or whatever tour. But at this moment, I'm really thinking of, I just want to make new music. It just gives me so much more energy than looking back to what we've done, which I'm very proud of. But I'm not. I still want to go on. So, and that's the reason why we're not looking back. And maybe we'll do something small. I don't know yet, but especially because people have been asked, we're going to do like a re-release of the T-shirts that we've done during those years that have been taken out of the merch, and like a small, small. How do you say it? Not many T-shirts, but just a few, just for anyone who wants to buy, like with melancholy looking back on the Mother Earth, maybe they can buy an old T-shirt or something. But as far as that, we haven't made any plans yet.
Understood. It was great to see the Mother Earth vinyl reissue last year. That was really
Yeah.
cool. And
Yeah,
yeah,
like
personally, I think that would be really cool for the fans. Obviously, you need plants to open and people to have money to buy things like colored vinyls and custom vinyls. But it was very nice to at least have that vinyl come out. And yeah, the band has always honored their whole lineage on tour. Like you've always played like older songs and newer stuff.
yeah.
So, I appreciate that. I love hearing about looking forward. I'm looking forward to more new Within Temptation music and more stuff from you. It is great to see you. I'm glad you're well and laughing and happy at this point. So good to see you. Thank you so much for taking the time with us both.
Likewise.
And we'll see you in better days on stage.
I hope
Hopefully
so.
soon.
Yeah, well, take care. Thank you so much for having me. And take care. Stay safe.